What up, world? It's your boy PKXL. This is Riding Dirty TV, and I feel so fortunate and blessed. I have a legend in my presence, AK the Razorman. What's going on, my G?
What's up, boss? Everything blessings, number love.
All right, so look, man, the first thing I want to do is give these people somewhat of a history lesson. Let everybody know where AK the Razorman is originally from, and what was your introduction to the music business?
I'm from the west side of Atlanta, and the way I got into the music was through my partner T.I. Tip. Well, y'all know him as T.I. Partner Tip. Got signed with Arista, and from there, we got me and my group PSC Pimp Squad Click. That's Big Country, Mac Boney, C-Rod. We all got on his album called Heavy Chevys, and it was on from there. It was history in the making.
All right, now, before you got with T.I., what was AK the Razorman doing? Because I want to know where the name Razorman came from.
Well, before I got with T.I., well, me and Tip, we met when I had been like 15, 16. So before that, learning life, learning the streets, and where I got the name Razorman from. Well, I definitely got to give shout out to DJ Toon. DJ Toon, he came to me right fast. He was like, "Look, bro, there's something missing. AK is like a really good artist, or whatever, but what's missing from you is your character. Like, how, T.I. was Rubber Band Man, and Big Country Kane was Hurricane Pimpin'. Mac Boney is Mac with the mad face. So who is AK?" And he made me think about it. And it took me about 2 weeks to really think about it, kicking in the trap. I just looked around. I didn't want to be at the time, I didn't want to be the doorman or the bag man. I looked at the bag man like he was the doorman, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to be, of course, we already had the Razor Man, and I didn't want to be the dope man or call myself out like that. So I just, I kept looking around. I seen, I had a razor. I don't want to tell you what I was doing with it, but basically I said, damn, Razor Man. What? And I thought about it. And I was like, and I said, that sounds real futuristic. And this had to been like in early 2000s. This before Razor phones came out. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get the idea from what was there. I just got the idea from what was around me in the trap, And I figured that it would kind of give a good definition of where I wanted to go in the future. I wanted to be sharp, cutting edge, and just chop it up, getting a slice of my cut was my whole motto. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. All right, what was it like growing up on the west side? Because the west side of Atlanta is legendary. What was that life like?
Well, growing up, I was in between. I was in between Cobb County and the west side, which is Fulton and D for me. So I was right there at Six Flags and Fulton and D. And most of the places where I was grinding at was on the southwest, Campbellton Road. So what was it like? It was pretty much cool for me. You know what I'm saying? It was just a bunch of real OG, a bunch of real wise hustlers. As far as what the west side consisted of. But like having, I guess I got best of both worlds because I grew up with white folks too. I did in Cobb County, so what I did was I kind of brought Atlanta to Cobb County from the style of way we did things. Cobb County niggas weren't really hip like that. They weren't really niggas you wanted to really do business with. A lot of them are some hoe niggas or whatever. So to prove that everybody in Cobb County ain't no hoe niggas, I pretty much had to do a whole lot of proving. I had to do a whole lot of fighting. You know what I'm saying? So what was it like? It was pretty much a war zone. It was a battle, because everybody was, at that time, you had sides, west side didn't fuck with no Cobb County or the east side or whatever. So you had to prove yourself in order to be fucked with. So that's where I came up proving myself a lot.
All right. Once you discovered, or how did you even discover that you had a talent to be an MC or to rap?
Well, what got me into rap? Well, kind of, I can make this brief. I started doing poetry, kind of just making up stories. And one day I decided to do it over a beat. And because I would always hear tracks in my head like a producer, but I'm not a producer, but I got that essence. So I put the poems together with the beat, and then my partner Matt Boney at the time, he was amazed that I could do that. And he asked me a lot of questions. So pretty much, make a long story short, I ended up figuring out how to rap through just watching videos and stuff like that. At the time, where I believe wasn't Rap City, like a Yo MTV Raps or something like that. Back then, just listening to niggas rap, and I figured it out. So once I did that, I was always active in music in school. I was in a band, and at the time, I decided to take on the offer that the band instructor gave us. Bring on somebody to this talent show. Whoever your partner is, they can come and y'all can win some money. So I'm like, oh yeah, I like winning money. So I brought Matt Boney on with me. At the time, he wasn't a writer, so I wrote really hard raps back then. So he really took a liking to what I wrote, and he was good at learning it. And he rapped it until he learned how to write himself. And once he became his own writer, he was even harder than me, So, but that's how it started. That was like what, 7th grade, 8th grade, and then from there, once I seen all my classmates, like what I was doing, I think I decided to make that into a career when it wasn't a choice. Like back then you couldn't just say I want to be a rapper and that was somebody. But I decided that's what I want to be, and I ain't really care who liked it or not.
All right. All right. Now, you are part of the original foundation of, you're part of the Pimp Squad Clique. You're definitely part of the original lineup to Grand Hustle. You was actually Grand Hustle before it was a Grand Hustle. What was it like in the early stages of all you guys discovering who you were as talented artists?
What was it like before we got discovered?
Now, what was it like just coming up? Because I know,
Coming up.
Yeah.
Just coming up as, doing music, we was all in the street. Everybody would just, how back in the day when they did the shooby-doo-wops on the corner, and I believe in the 60s or 70s, we would like that, but we were spitting, we were rhyming about what we were going through, you know what I'm saying? So while we congregated on the, back then everybody was on the corner, you know what I'm saying, with their white tees and shit. So we would be congregated and just swapping styles back and forth, like who had the hardest flow or the hardest, the most killer words to say, you know what I'm saying? So that's how it was then. It was just all about almost like a New York rap battle, but without battling.
All right. Now, you mentioned Mac Boney. You and Mac Boney, at one point in time, I don't remember the year, but y'all put out an underground CD that I definitely consider a classic called Glocks and Plans. And it had a legendary cover. Let's talk a little bit about that project. Like, how did it come together? How did that cover come together?
Pretty much, I got to give all credit to Matt Boney, he pretty much called up his homegirl. I ain't really know her too well, you know what I'm saying? So, but she's cool people. I can't even shout out. But he put that together and called her up, and she came through. That was my partner, Trap at the time. I guess it definitely could shout him out. KT, that Kern, Big Kern, that was his trap out there. That was all. We shot that off Mill Street, and we just wanted to show the real essence of the trap. And that's what at the time really, we were trying to get banned by the, you know, hopefully the government seen it and they wanted to ban us because being banned back then was like the hot thing. You know what I'm saying? Like making the news. You know, because most trap niggas back then wanted to make the news or something where you pissed off the government. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So that was our whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So one, you know, we were pretty much just aiming just to cause an uproar and the war on rap and really just expose like all of us who were in the dark, which is us trap niggas out there. Nobody knew about the trap or what the trap was. So we just wanted to show some light, you know what I'm saying, and give some good eye candy in the raw form of it, you know, show the dope girls and show all the the provocative people that come from that live in this darkness, you know what I'm saying, but making all this money.
All right. Now, after Glocks and Plans, you became part of some legendary major releases. You were part of the PSC album. What was it like being a guy from the West Side, being from Cobb County, but being on a major album?
I mean, I looked at it like I was gonna make something happen in the music in the hip hop industry, simply because all the people around me was not on what I was on, no matter where they was from, whether Atlanta, because I graduated from Dub High, you know what I'm saying, and anyone I seen in Atlanta from the West Side to the Southwest to Cobb County, nobody was on what we was on. You know, and also I got family on the East Side, Redan, and they went on what we was on. So I kind of figured like, okay, I think we gonna do something. I just kind of felt like that. Like we wanted to be harder than NWA or the next NWA out of Atlanta is where our minds was at. And possibly somebody being the next Ice Cube or not going out like Easy E, but the next Easy E. You know what I'm saying? So we had that gangster mentality, and just knowing bringing that at the time Atlanta wasn't on that. Atlanta was pretty much like good positive music or dance music, you know, for the girl to twerk.
All right.
So
Now,
so so you know what I'm saying? So trying to come with something that wasn't there and never happened before, you know, it just felt like something new and fresh.
all
It
right.
just felt
Now,
like I was cutting edge.
now, people who know AK the Razorman, they know your delivery and they know your style. You had like a rapid flow style, a lot of double times. Like, where did your style come from? Because your style definitely wasn't a typical Atlanta rapper.
Wow, that just happened. It's just organic. Music for me has just been organic. It's never I never really could sound like anyone. Like back when I started trying to write, when I was learning how to write rap, and that was about sixth grade, something like that, fifth, sixth grade, trying to learn how to write like rappers. And I remember trying to like actually writing down Snoop Dogg's uh gin and juice. So I was like, okay, this is his style. You know, everybody has their own writing style, and I've always been a writer. Like I said, I started off doing poetry. You know, just writing it. I never really recited it to people, but I like to write it, and so I just was figuring out another way to write my emotions at the time, and I learned through, like I say, the rapper. So how do I know to do it like that? Well, it comes from a lot of practicing because I did it all the time. So I stayed writing, meaning that I stayed figuring out different ways to present my perspective. Like one day, if I would write about, uh, I could write about being fresh or how clean I was in one way, but the next day I felt like, oh, I forgot to mention my hat. I forgot to mention how I pulled up, and everybody was looking and feeling. I forgot to give you the establishing shot of it. You know, I forgot to give you that. So when you go back and write, it's the same. Like you add that in. So like I said, I always been a writer, and how I did it is because I practice on what I like to do, which is writing. So and expressing how I feel at that time. So if I was mad, most of the time I was mad back then because I feel like I should be born rich. I feel like I supposed to be higher than what I was in at the time. And so I chose, coming from Cobb County with two working parents. My father always had a home, and he was from LA, Ife, Nigeria. So he raised me with all the values and all that stuff, to be a good man. My mother from the South, raised in Florida, so she definitely had a lot of old school values in me. But what made me choose uh, to rap that way and go in the streets and learn the streets and go and get into the music business through the streets. And then from there, I discovered in the street that the streets are forgotten. So I felt like I need to use my talent to help raise that awareness that, hold up, hey, don't forget about these people out here starving. These people out here who looking for elevation too, just because you think they out here just selling dope for fun. You know what I'm saying? People want to come out of this shit. How we gonna build this bridge? So I decided to be one of the bridge builders. And my partner, what I'm saying, y'all all know, he was pretty much put on by God himself. You know what I'm saying? Once God put him on, the devil came and took the person that put Tiff in place. You see what I'm saying? May he rest in peace, too. So how it all happened like that, like I say, practice and just will and just vision and just passion and desire to see what you're trying to build come to light and expressing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, black folk couldn't really express themselves. Niggas can't cry and shit. A man don't cry type talk back then. And even boys don't cry. You had to hold everything on your shoulders back then. So music was harder because life was hard. So I felt like I needed to express all that to get it out. That was my way of self-therapy. And that's what music has always been for me. So I just happened to, know how to sell or have the ability to sell or have a platform and the blessing to sell whatever I do. Because this is whether I'm out here in the forefront of people, I'm still gonna do music.
All
Still
right,
gonna
now,
put together, my content. So
all right.
I
So
present. Yeah, go ahead, boss.
now, at the early stages of your career, what do you think some of the most shocking things about the music business you realize? Because a lot of people get into this and they think it's one way and it's another way. So early on, what was the most shocking thing that you realized about the music business?
The most shocking thing. What's the most shocking thing? Let me see. Let me go. Let me shoot and let me go for the head. Should I go for the head first? Let me see. The most shocking thing to find out that a lot of these brothers is homosexual. You know what I'm saying? I guess we got somebody got to bring it up. Shit. Um, but yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, a lot of these folks, I don't know who the fuck. I don't hang with none of these people. But to find out, like from other folk, that what? I didn't. Oh man, I'm disgusted. So it's really shocking and disgusting. But that's life, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna choose what they choose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So shortly after the release of that Pimp Squad Click album, I started seeing AK the Razorman solo projects. So what launched the AK the Razorman solo career? And
Well,
give us, hold on, before you do that, and in the process, give us a little discography of some of those solo releases.
okay. The first one, Expand and Conquer. I believe that's Todd One. Todd One, and at the time he was at Hot 107. Uh, and what made me think of that, because I felt like what the kingdom that I came from, that foundation. Um, from that point, by me leaving or stepping out of that box, was expanding the foundation. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you grew. It's kind of like being born in a 50-room castle. This is where your mom and dad had you. You were born in this castle, right? You had everything that you needed. You don't need to go outside this castle to do anything. But to leave that castle and say, no, I want my own house. Of course, everyone is gonna laugh at you like, what? You don't have what we have to have another castle. You don't have what we have. How you gonna have another castle, right? But you just want what you want. You go get your little house or your little trail or whatever you got, over home, and you don't care who laugh. You just want to expand out of that castle. So I felt like I don't care if I'm rich or not. I'm not trying to beat nobody. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a contest to me. It was more like, so you call that it was more like just trying to move out and elevate and show that, hey, I'm different. I'm different. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already seen how my partner is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what that is. But y'all really don't know his partners. You feel what I'm saying? So basically I gotta introduce myself. I gotta do something. Can't just sit here and just rely on my career on a group, which at the time I didn't like groups. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't like groups. I'm gonna tell you the truth to y'all. I ain't like no damn group because no one really sees you and you gotta kind of follow suit with shit. So I did all that, you know what I'm saying? And I just felt like, okay, now it's time for me to say something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm gonna have to conquer my own territory. You know what I'm saying? Because what we conquered together as PSC, Grand Hustle PSC, that was a collective, ordeal. It wasn't just AK. So what did AK do for himself? You know, he did he just is his whole career just tagging his work on to this other man's work, or what can I get out of him, and what's his message? Is his message just solely, oh, he's behind the king of who started this trap music and brought the trap to the mainstream? Is he just the silent founding father, or is AK a talent also within himself to be reckoned with? You know what I'm saying? So I think I wanted to expand and show people that I can conquer my own territory too now, and expand this thing and turn this trap thing into just bigger than just T.I. and Grand Hustle. It's bigger than that. You know, now it's a genre, of course. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be bigger than that. It's black corporate. It's what the trap is.
All right, now, how do you feel like the world received you once you stepped out on your own?
I think everybody was still embracing what was going on with Grand Hustle because it was huge. It was the biggest shit in the streets ever, and we were building that bridge. So you trying to come out the streets, you know, you had to use our bridge to cross because there was no other. So people pretty much looked at me like I'm Black Jesus, you know. You know what I'm saying? People treated me well, you know what I'm saying, beyond what I can imagine. Because I figured it was a bunch of, fakes and snakes anyway. So, but I always got great treatment, treated like royalty, like I believe that I supposed to be. Because like I say, I even got into the trap because I felt like I needed to come out of just modern day life, with two hardworking parents who were kind of boxed in from the white American view, you know what I'm saying? Trying to box me into that. So I was always the rebel that was like, no, there's another way. And if I gotta be the goon or a criminal to get it, you better believe I'm gonna make it happen, because that's just how I seen it. You know what I'm saying? So I was passionate about elevating.
How did your parents feel about your music career?
I mean, of course, having a Nigerian father from LA, pretty much he hated, the whole rap thing. But of course, he always wanted me to be successful. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't really believe that I would do anything in that. He didn't believe that me and my partners, or even my partners, that they were going to even be anybody. But may he rest in peace now. You know what I'm saying? He ended up seeing that I was that what I should be. I should be more than what he thought. And more than what a lot of people thought, even to this day. You know, so I'm gonna continue doing that. So he kind of just made me used to it. That everybody that you might have boxed me in, but one thing for sure, that you're miscalculating what God is gonna do. To box someone in is miscalculating God's hand. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Okay.
all it is. It's all a spiritual lesson. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just on this journey. That's what this is. So we just televising it, everything live now. You know, back in the days, you just did it. You had to get it on CD or go to the show, right?
Right.
But now you can talk about it, and the evolution, the whole movement is now talked about. This is dope.
All right. Now, after Expand and Conquer, what were some of your other releases?
Also, my face card, I got Killer Mike on that one. Shout out to Killer Mike, and he got on Razor Chop. He made a remix out of that. My independent producer made that track, Riber. And once again, everybody that was on that was all independent. From that point, I kind of came out of. In my mind, I was out of Grand Hustle and PSC. In my mind, when I did that, when I was more into the look, I got my own face now. You know what I'm saying? And my face card can speak for itself now. So it went from trying to expand and conquer to now I got my face card, and that's worthy. So that's what that was about. And I just wanted to just rap, just do what I like to do. You know, tell stories about my life and psychological shit and flashiness and things that make you feel elevated. You know, so that's what that's about.
All right. Now, and then for a while, it seemed like AK the Razorman disappeared on us. Where did you go?
Now this is when you start talking about like when niggas go through in the rap game. You know, when it comes to why people stop coming with albums or whatever. So I had went through some things in the family and life, trying to raise my son, and I just had to figure out other things to do. That when music stopped, like the money in music stopped, kind of like when they told everyone to lock down, and the show stopped. Well, at that time it seemed like a lockdown, even though it wasn't. So I just laugh it off. I say, damn, all hustles don't stay making money forever. So you gotta move to the next hustle. So I kind of looked at it like that, like, yeah, maybe this ain't for you to hustle no more. You know what I'm saying? If you still want to do your music, and myself, I'm telling myself that if I still want to do my music, that it's all about self-therapy. So don't worry about if people want to buy it or not. Just continue using the gift God gave you to keep healing yourself from things that may try to bring your vibration down, like a lot of black males go through. You know what I'm saying? But I got the power in my own self to uplift myself and make myself high and mighty against the God in me. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I have a talent of music. They want to say that music came from the angel of light, which is music. Music is the angel of light. You know what I'm saying? But one thing for sure, it ain't no devil. It's God in you. So that's all it is. And whether I get paid, whether you pay me for it or not, it is what it is. So that's what kept me. I think I had to go through that. I had to learn that, and I was going through all that. And I also came to a point where I said, I don't even want to rap. I don't even want to do this like that no more. I ain't trying to trap the music no more. You know what I'm saying? I just want to live life and figure out other ways to make money. And that's what I was doing, just learning different trades, and learning different ways of online and how to, just make money here, money there, whatever another keep me afloat. And then finally, I started applying my movie ideas. Now we got one called Up in the Clouds with my partner Spud, with Vincent Stewart. Everybody know him in Atlanta as Spud in the nightclubs. He's a photographer, videographer in the strip club. We pretty much came with our first film, Up in the Clouds. No. So matter of fact, speaking of Spud, he done showed up.
I need some change, man. Y'all got some change?
Yeah, let everybody know who you are.
Yo, what's up? This DJ Big Spud, the producer, director. Up in the Clouds, the movie. Word, the Unauthorized Store. We got the book coming soon. We got the DVD out. Yo, check out the YouTube. We got Tour Life. I think you're doing your interview on the Tour Life, ain't you?
Yeah, pretty much. So, you know what I'm saying? With just that, just giving y'all that little bit. That's the things that I'm working on now with my partner. And it's right there. Next to that the video game. Yeah, so like I said, Up in the Clouds, that's available on YouTube. And we're working on another one. It's a romantic comedy. I'm not gonna give that name away yet. So I'm working on singles for these independent projects we put together. So we got a soundtrack series for Up in the Clouds. That's available on Spotify, Amazon, everywhere, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and right now it's at like 430K, 430 streams, 430,000 streams. Excuse me. So we're approaching gold on that album, on that soundtrack. So we call it a soundtrack series. I know nobody's doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, tell them about the soundtrack.
Yeah. So we got the single from the soundtrack called "In the Air."
Oh, Steve,
on the Up in the Clouds soundtrack. Okay. So like I said, that's almost gold. You know what I'm saying? Just on my independent.
The new soundtrack.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we got. What we can say safely say is good as far as the forward progress and what I've been doing, selling it. So like I said, that's what I was getting into, and where I went, I've been around. You know what I'm saying? I used to just kick it with my partner Spud in the clubs and shit. Shout out to June the Link. I was kicking it with him and all my partners on Nard and what's your partner? Chico, well, of course, Chico Banks. You know what I'm saying? And A-Town Mike. So, and Mike Check, shout out to Mike Check. And Bad Guy with drug store, the drug clothing store. You know what I'm saying? So that was just to name a few, you know what I'm saying? That was just my partners I would kick it with in the clubs. And I was just chilling, you know what I'm saying? Just drinking, smoking, trying to figure it out, still networking. I'll let my my DJs that I do fuck with, you know what I'm saying, whether we do music or not. DJ C Money, Sticker Bush, that's my brother, DJ Sticker Bush. So I'm always gonna be in the game, you know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna know what's next. Because I'm the cutting edge. I feel like why now in my own head I ask myself why now even get in this game? Like after I heard Dre 3000 talking about how he don't feel right doing the greatness he do, and it just blew me away. I'm like, this man to me is icon. So if my icon says he don't even feel like getting in, I'm like, wow. I really had to think deep on why would I even jump into something that, that's the greats don't even want to get back in. Well, I say I still got the story to tell, and that's what I like to do. I like to tell my story, and I like to tell stories of others, so I want to get into the business of telling other stories. So first I got to tell mine, one page at a time with this. So this is my bounce back. And I got a new single called Bounce Back Zone. Pretty much just giving you like a brief emotion of where AK was at and is at as far as now in the game. Is coming back into music and trying to present himself as an artist. So to be honest, I don't even see myself as a rapper. Even though I rap, of course, but what I want to do is convey stories, you know. So I think, like I say, telling minds will open up that wave of being able to do the movies I want to do. I got man, you know, between me, you, and the whole world, I got a journal. Right? I wrote this journal in 1998. Don't give a fuck. Give away my age, right? And the journal, I wrote what we did every fucking day in the trap. You know, all my partners, they know I got that journal. Is, you know, I got it in a Ziploc, like it's dope itself, like it's that brick. And I'm planning on creating a niggas in the trap movie, you know, type style derived from that journal, real life stories.
That's
You know what
dope.
I'm saying? But I gotta get to that point. So before I do my AK in the trap, niggas in the trap, whatever, boys in the trap, you know, do my thing, I gotta tell my story to tell others' story. You know, cause my story is just a counterpart of all of the great trap foundation story. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what needs to be told so that the youth can tie in this trap genre and continue it, because this is what black people have. You know what I'm saying? We created we made black history by creating a genre. We created a way for crime-ridden people who people were wrote off. They were wrote off. We were wrote off like people with epilepsy back in the Bible days. You know what I'm saying? We were wrote off like you niggas will never be nothing. Who will even know you here? To now the biggest thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I think, yeah, like we're that thing that they said in the last days. You know what I'm saying? What's gonna be there? And here we are. We're gonna ride it out. So I want to tell that part of the story and open up the whole foundation of the story so that, you know, everybody know where this came from, how this came to be, and how we can continue the legacy.
No doubt. Now, what made you go to the movie production, short story, visual side of things?
I think because, you know, well, what made me do that is basically I've always been wanting to do the movies ever since we was in the trap. I even took acting classes. Believe it or not, I took acting classes right during that time. Right during that time, Tip had came out with "I'm Serious." I had just decided to just drop out of all that and just hit the road with him. That's what I did, you know. So that's why I aimed my life towards what he was doing, towards what Tip was doing, because I knew it would open up, it would bring light to the darkness of where we was at and with the trap. And I knew that would be a new thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoa. And once people started asking us, what's the trap? I knew, oh, it's on. We done invented something. You know what I'm saying? So from there, you know, that's what got me on this journey, you know what I'm saying, to stay with that. But I'm a writer. You know, that's just what I like to do, I love to do.
All right, so we got to wrap it up. But in closing, number one, tell me a little bit about the Bounce Back. Who actually produced the Bounce Back, and how can people find it?
My little partner, Cold Wicked out there in Savannah, Georgia. He pretty much my little partner, my little gunner. He's on his way up doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to elevate and get better. But he happened to come with one. And it's funny because I ain't even look for that song to be, like, for the song for me to come out with and to tell my story. But thanks to Sir Classic, who is now pretty much my management, was like, no, this the one. So Cold Wicked, the producer, this Bounce Back song is pretty much just about how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Like coming in the streets, like why I chose the streets. And even though the streets didn't choose me, I chose the streets, and what I did in the streets made me pretty much. And from what it made Black history. But during that process, there were things I wanted that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And there were shortcomings, and I suffered the shortcomings, and it had to go through the humility of the shortcoming in order to, be more humble. I was considered a crazy person. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, I was considered insane. You know what I'm saying? Literally. And they even made up rumors about saying that I was out robbing people and robbing stores and shooting clerks and shit. All that was lies. But I think because of how crazy I was and the stunts that I did in the street, you're gonna make shit up like that. So the bounce back zone and just pretty much now it's like, wow, AK is a different person. He seems more intelligent. He seems more outspoken. He seems more in tune with himself. And that's the truth. I had to find myself through all that, because coming out of the trap and your partner make it so fast to the top of the game, and you looking at the top of the game from the top of the sign on the Hollywood sign, looking down at everybody, this is like, wow, I'm here too fast. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the hell? So to be honest, a lot of that shit came from, Tip's work. You know what I'm saying? And because of Tip's work was so up there, I was able to use that platform. So I always, to this day, doesn't matter what happened in business, Tip is besides business, Tip is my brother and my cousin. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always gonna have, I'm a family person, so I'm gonna have loyalty to that, but I ain't no fool. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that I gotta tell my story, no matter what feathers I may ruffle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So bounce back is pretty much, okay, it's AK coming back doing this thing. AK is I don't know what they want to say on the internet. I'm disgruntled and shit, but everybody know my style to be wild and shit. So now everything is, I'm stable, mentally stable. You know what I'm saying? I'm mentally stable. That's better than financially stable. Because you can have all the money in the world and your ass crazy. Who gives a damn? You shot out. Somebody gonna blast your ass.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? You mentally stable, whether rich or poor. You the shit.
All right.
We
Now,
have it. So bounce back, baby. I'm bouncing back. I'm in my zone, and this what this is. This is a bounce back zone. This shit going live. We in that zone.
all right. Now I gotta ask, because you showed me the hat, and you've also put the camera on the shirt. What's going on with the hat and the shirt?
What's going on with the hat? Oh, what's up with the shirt? I don't know if you can see that.
I can see it.
Yeah, word. That's Without Reasonable Doubt Productions, and that's pretty much the film company. Me and my partner Spud, we just seen. We pretty much running right now. You can catch us on IG at Word ATL. Everything spelled correctly. Word ATL. On IG, you can check me out personally. Also at AK Lawal, which is my last name. AK LAWAL PSC. AK Lawal PSC. Those are my 2 pages. And pretty much with Word Productions, we drop Up in the Clouds, the movie and the soundtrack. You can check that out, YouTube and on Spotify. We almost gold with this soundtrack series, Up in the Clouds. And Razorman Productions, that's my thing. And this hat, too. You see this hat?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that represent what I like to smoke. What up, pimp? Yeah, you got a light on you? Yeah, that's just what I like to smoke. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all my stoners. The Up in the Clouds is a stoner film for all my motherfucking smokers and players. That's the only people I really, to be honest, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's the only people that I like to really hang with is people who smoke weed. But of course, it's the crazy shit. None of my folk came up smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's crazy that I smoke every day. You know what I'm saying? So that's something my drug of choice.
All
I
right.
represent that.
Before we get out of here, what would be some of your words to the wise, words of wisdom for the people getting into the entertainment field, whether it's music or film?
The word to the wise, people getting in, definitely know your craft. Like, practice your craft to the point where you got your own style. You already know how to come, like how you gonna come. You're not trying to figure it out. You know, back when I was doing it, they called knowing your niche. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a niche. So to do that, you gotta just practice every day. I mean, you can use other people's style, blend it up, but see nowadays niggas stealing other niggas' style anyway. So everybody sound the same. You ask me, but new people getting in, shoot. Y'all probably ain't gonna listen to me. Y'all niggas like to sound like each other. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really have too much to say about niggas who want to sound like everybody. But if you want to be authentic, then you would practice on your shit every day, and you can blend everybody's style in there, and then switch it up. But yeah, originality and definitely being good at knowing what you want. You know what I'm saying? Don't go in just saying, yeah, I want $1 million, and you know damn well you ain't even worth $1 million yet. You ain't have no numbers, nothing. You just want $1 million or be rich. But you gotta put in the work, put in some good work, and be willing to put in work all the time. You know, just go everywhere with your shit. Everywhere they'll let y'all niggas go. Hopefully they don't shut y'all shit down. So if you can go there, you better go. Fuck having a show when niggas don't show up. Man, when rap niggas don't want to show up to their own show, them days is over. That's over because you don't even know them niggas gonna let you have a show. So you better show up. Every time you get an opportunity, show up. You know what I'm saying?
Before we get
That's
out of
it.
here, one more time, tell them about the movie and how to find those 2 Instagrams.
Check me out on Instagram, Word ATL, AK Lawal PSC. That's AKLAWAL And you can check out the movie Up in the Clouds on YouTube, Up in the Clouds, the movie, and the soundtrack Up in the Clouds on Spotify, Amazon, Pandora, iHeartRadio. I got the single In the Air on that one. And the new single that's out right now, Bounce Back Zone. Bounce Back Zone. Y'all go to Spotify, AK the Razorman. Check my shit out and leave comments. Let me know if you like me. Let me know if you don't like me. That's good too. Let me know if you don't like me. And let me know. Just let me know something. You know what I'm saying? If you're real, if you're a real person, a real human being on earth, just let it be known that you see me and we on that page and we can keep flipping.
All right, AK, thank you for checking in Riding Dirty TV, my brother.
All right, pimp. Bless me.